So I have a couple pathways to victory here, but you got a shitload of mana right now.
I do have a shitload of mana. Thing is, if I spend 5 mana to scry 1, I'm not going to be able to cast any of my bigger stuff. So no, I'm not going to scry. All right, I'm going to put down a forest. Actually, no, I need to put down my Vine Glimmer Snarl, revealing a forest. Okay,
I'll allow
then I need to spend 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 for another body of research.
Another body of research.
Card counters, set counters to 44. All right, and I actually do need to cast this, don't I? Yep. All right, I'm going to spend 3 in order to cast Golden Ratio, which will allow me to draw 2 cards because both my creatures have different powers.
Huh. Draw a card for each different power among creatures you control, and the powers are 4 in 44.
Yep. All right, and yeah, I'll end with that.
All right, so you're tapped out, meaning this is game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you have another reduced to memory, so.
And despite running a fucking 26 land deck, it's like the 8th turn of the game, and I only have 5 lands on my board right now. Yeah, you're just dead because I got flyers and I can hit you directly. Pay 1 actually because I control Killian. The expanded anatomy. The expanded anatomy is going to put 2 +1/+1 counters on this Inkling token. Okay. And this Inkling token has Vigilance until end of turn.
Right.
Then I am going to pay 3, and I'm going to reduce to memory your 44/44 fractal.
So shouldn't this be 2 white?
Yeah, 2 white sources in it. Oh, right, because it's targeting a creature. You're right. Okay, so because targets are determined during the casting step, I do enjoy the discount. Thank you for that. All right, and then I'm going to pay 2, and I'm going to cast another Killian. And then because the legend rule applies, and I can only control 1 at a time, this Killian goes to the graveyard. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because the legend rule doesn't prevent you from casting the creature, it applies as a state-based action when it's officially on the board with a duplicate of itself. I'm going to swing with everything. My 2/2 with Menace, my 4/3, and my 1/1 in the air for a total of 7 damage.
Token is not tapped.
It does not tap because it has Vigilance.
Alright, I'll double block Killian and Duelist.
Alright. The Quandrix Cultivator and the Spirit token both are blocking Killian. So now during the damage step, Killian is going to distribute his 2 damage to destroy the Spirit token. I gain 2 life points.
And then he is dead.
He dies. And then you take 5 damage in the air.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Good game, Mr. Cloud.
Good game, Mr. Gerdat.
So there's only what, 1? No, there are exactly 2 cards in my deck that I didn't actually get to show off. But I'm hoping that that this is more or less how more or less a thorough exploration of what this set honestly offers, because these games are actually quite fun. Mostly because if you go all in what the what the houses are trying to do, you can get some really interesting payoffs. Like body of research into Tanazir is just absolutely fucking glorious. Same with Master of Symmetry. The ones that I didn't get to show off were Manifestation Sage and where's the other one? Wormhole Serpent. Yeah.
Well, as soon as I show my hand here, then I can have a look at your cards here for a second, too.
Ooh, Sparring Regiment.
So it is amazing how, like, we want to, this is the when in Rome, and yeah, Gerda and I spent some time in Rome for a second, and we started doing as the Romans did. So one of us went the route of get a big body of lands for a body of research, and take the hits or survive the hits early, but then really crush it in the late game.
Mid game, but yeah.
Versus the opponent who played aggressive early and then tried to keep a ready supply of answers depending on the situation as the game unfolds. Like more of an open-endedness versus like, nah, I'm just gonna crush you. Like big, small, medium, you're gonna be flat in like 7 turns.
I'm really glad that you actually did a bunch of the lessons. I'm kind of sad you didn't do Introduction to Disintegration.
Oh, right. Of course. Where are my manners? Here are the rest of the lessons that I didn't play. Inkling Summoning. The Mascot Exhibition. Introduction to Prophecy. Confront the Past. And a shitload of expanded anatomy cards.
Okay. But you never even went for Inkling Summoning. Why not?
Well, because I was either trying to... Because I realized that as I was putting the sideboard together, like, I'm really, honestly, only going to be doing one of two things. I'm either going to be developing my current existing creatures, or the supply, or I'm trying to remove my opponent's shit. And because you were playing some really big stuff during these games, I kept pushing for removal instead of board development.
Yeah.
Inkling Summoning, I did use sometimes during my practices if I just needed just one more creature. Like, for example, if I had Shadrix on the field. So then the Inkling token would start to accumulate.
If you've got Shadrix either out or coming out, Inkling Summoning is honestly a pretty good call, but But you didn't play Intro to Disintegration. Meh.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't. And so coming to realize, like, Killian, he's a legendary 2-drop. Like, he caught my eye right away. Like, there is something that this guy is trying to get me to design my deck around, and the answer is get a lot of spells that target creatures.
Yeah.
And then what with me trying to make a turn 5 Shadrix Silverquill play, I'm either getting a bunch of creatures on my board, or I'm trying to stack +1/+1 counters on a fucking 2/5 with double strike until something dies. But really, like, and then I got to go back to the point that it strikes me that Strixhaven as a set is supposed to be like the formation of alliances. Like, makes me wonder, like, what were the intended combinations that they wanted in a team situation? Like, if you have a teammate, are you going to team up with Quandrix? Are you going to team up with Lorehold or Witherbloom? And
thank you. That's what it is. It's Witherbloom.
Like, which are their correct combinations?
Silverquill teams up with Witherbloom, guaranteed, because Witherbloom generates the 1/1 pest tokens very easily, and Shadrix specifically pluses off of that pretty hugely. Like, Lorehold can generate the spirit tokens quite nicely, but they have to spend a lot of mana to do it. Whereas the pest generation in Witherbloom is significantly faster.
Those pests really were tempting. And I think I also would have had a fun time playing with Witherbloom as well. Well, with all the black stuff that they got going on.
Yeah.
Like,
you would also have been able to play with the Liliana Planeswalker in the set. So,
and Professor Onyx was one of my most unfortunate deletions from my final build of the deck. I just decided that she comes out too late. She's a 6-drop Planeswalker. Like,
yeah.
by the time I get her out, there are two problems. One is she doesn't mesh well with the rest of the creature package in black and white. And second is she wants me to use the Magecraft keyword, which says I get an ability every time I cast or copy an instant or sorcery card.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads me to my next question, Mr. Gerda, is where is your Magecraft?
Oh, my Magecraft stuff is specifically on. Where are you? Dragon's Guard Elite. Dragon's Guard Elite gains a 1/1 counter whenever I cast or copy an instant or sorcery. So if I have Dragon Guard's Elite out on the field and I cast, Body of Research or Eureka Moment or Golden Ratio, very quickly my Dragon's Guard Elite becomes a pretty significant threat. It would actually go Dragon's Guard Elite on 2, then Golden Ratio on 3 to make her a 3/3, allowing me to draw a card, and then from there, I could very slowly double her up, or use a Tanazir to double her up from there, and then continue to repeatedly double her up afterwards. I honestly don't believe that the Magecraft stuff works with Quandrix that well, but Prismari is built around the damn thing, like explicitly so.
That it's going to seriously affect your overall composition of the deck. Like you might be leaning more heavily on instant and sorcery cards than not if you have lots of Magecraft in your deck.
Yeah.
Because then you get those triggered abilities, and each time you get the trigger, you get a little more powerful. I tell you, man, there is a stick of dynamite hidden somewhere in this set that I don't think either of us had seen, that if we laid eyes on it and we saw like what it can do to a game in the course of one turn, it would have blown our minds.
I don't know, man. Secrets of Strixhaven released a particular card that I thought read absolutely fucking crazy, and I had to reread it like 9 times in order to finally realize, wait, this isn't recursive. God fucking damn it.
Oh, and we didn't even go over the transform cards.
We aren't playing any of them, so
I am Selfless Glyph Weaver. So the transform cards are a little different than like proxies, for example. So when you see a card that has like in the bottom left corner, different color, different mana cost, that's an option that is embedded in the card that has that little footnote at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That in the example of the Selfless Glyph Weaver, you have one of two choices. You can either cast him as a 2/3 human cleric who has that ability, or you can cast the Mega board wipe, which says choose target creature or planeswalker you control and then destroy all other non-land permanents. So you can cast either of those abilities at any time, meaning also that you can only Deadly Vanity, thank you. So because they are 2 cards at the same time, it also means that you cannot have more than 4 copies of either Selfless Glyphweaver or Deadly Vanity, or a combination of them. That eventually you can only have 4 chances to use these in a game.
Yeah, but that's only an issue with Cockatrice, so.
And Dean Ambrose, actually, Killian's father, he was in the deck for a second, but then I realized I didn't finally know what the hell to do with him, because his ability seemed a little dumb. You put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and then he deals 2 damage to that creature. And then each time a creature dies, I think you, like, draw a card or something.
So it's aristocrats.
Which makes sense, because Killian is Dean Ambrose's son, and if you put a +1/+1 counter on a 2/2 creature and then deal 2 damage to it, it still has 1 health left.
Yep.
So he doesn't want to kill his boy. He just wants to make him tougher.
All right. So with that, we have successfully explored Strixhaven. I like the set. I do. It is a bit slower than what we're used to, but the reason why is to really ingratiate you into what each house wants to do. We didn't really explore anything from the Prismari side, and that's honestly because I don't really like Izzet. Izzet's big thing has always been Storm and Replicate, and unfortunately for me, there's only really one Storm deck that I've ever been comfortable playing with, and it's Modern Cheerios. So
Cheerios.
What do you think of the set in its entirety, Mr. Cloud?
I think the set is a lot of fun. That it does finally advance Magic to the next chapter for a more modern audience. That you get a little, it gets a little stale. What with the names of the color pairings, like we've seen Mardu, we've gone over Orzhov, we've beaten to death Simic. But here they take on a nuance that also is shaped by the selection of cards in the set. That you might have to abandon some preconceived notions about how these color pairings work based on how they function in this particular set. And you may find yourself embracing it as a fresh change to what you've come to expect to be like just over and over and over again. The same abilities, the same expectations. Here you could try something new. You can learn.
Yes, learning. All right, everyone, be safe. Next time, it's going to be Cloud's turn to pick out the next set that we are exploring.
And the House Cup goes to Quandrix.
All right, be safe, everybody.
Thank you for watching Rocky Rabbit Commentaries.